Most people don't know that Ethiopia, aka Abyssinia, was the first African country to call African Americans back to their homeland. Empress Zewditu was the first queen of kings of Ethiopia from 1916 to the 1930s. Zewditu wrote a letter also known as the Call to Africa. This letter was an open invitation to African Americans and other African descents to return to Ethiopia, their ancestry homeland. This letter offered land grants and Ethiopian citizenship to those who returned. Zewditu also stressed the importance of preserving African culture and heritage. This letter resonated with Marcus Garvey. He was a prominent Jamaican African leader who saw Ethiopia as a symbol of African pride and independence. And this was the start of Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association, which actively promoted the idea of returning to Africa. Zewditu's letter helped influence the Pan-African movement. As her letter is hard to find online, I got in contact with the researcher Julia Bonanchi, who sent me an excerpt from her book that mentions. She first explained how the invitation left some traces because it was shared during the UNIA convention. As is mentioned in her book, the Queen of Abyssinia assured them of cordiality, which I invited them back to the homeland, particularly those qualified to help solve our big problems and to develop our vast sources, teachers, artisans, mechanics, writers, musicians, professional men and women, all who are able to lend a hand in the constructive work which our country so deeply feels and greatly needs. Zewditu and Garvey exchanged letters discussing cooperation and potential collaboration. The UNIA promoted Ethiopia as a destination for African repatriation. Their connection highlights the border of the Pan-African movement, which focused on unity, self-determination, and cooperation between Africa and its diaspora community. Once Zewditu was mysteriously unalive, and Marcus Garvey was falsely accused and sent to prison and later deported back to Jamaica, this affected the original intentions and plans of the Pan-African movement. This is why we must understand that the movement back to Africa is Bible prophecy to restore, as is mentioned in Isaiah 1:26. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city.